As soon as Jesus heard the word that was spoken, he saith unto the ruler of the synagogue, Be not afraid, only believe. And he suffered no man to follow him save Peter and James and John, the brother of James. And he cometh to the house of the ruler of the synagogue, and seeth the tumult, and them that wept and wailed greatly. And when he was come in, he saith unto them, Why make ye this ado and weep? The damsel is not dead, but sleepeth. And they laughed him to scorn. But when he had put them all out, he taketh the father and the mother of the damsel, and them that were with him, and entered in where the damsel was lying. And he took the damsel by the hand, and said unto her, Talitha Cumi, which is being interpreted, Damsel, I say unto thee, arise. And straightway the damsel arose and walked, for she was of the age of 12 years, and they were astonished with a great astonishment. And he charged them straitly, that no man should know it, and commanded that something should be given her to eat. I saw myself in that story because I saw that in her story, she was supposed to take a certain path based on the way things around her were being presented. There was a specific path that she was supposed to take, and she didn't take that path that was expected. And so in my own life, I was raised by a single mother who did an awesome job, had my own struggles, and we struggled sometimes because my mom was a single mother. And so there's a certain path when you're the child of a single parent that you're expected to take. And even people that'll step in and say things. There were adults saying that I probably wasn't going to make it out in the real world. So when I saw that story, I saw that Jesus had stepped in and said something totally different. And so God had ministered to me so much about how he had stepped in my life, and he had said Talitha Cumi to me. From 10 p.m., to 2 a.m. I remember being up, and you guys were sitting here, you heard this song, Talitha Cumi, playing. I had that song playing, and I heard God say, I want you to go and take that same message to women. And I'm confused because I'm like, I work with youth now, so I don't really understand, Lord, why you want me to take a message to women. And it made no sense at the time. But what I did was, and I'm not going to read it, but I do want to show you how important it is to write your vision. I wrote it down. And this is a letter I wrote then, and I'll just tell you what it says. It says, it's dated October 10th, 2003, 9:22 p.m. God placed the idea of Talitha Cumi on my heart in September 2003. And so I started to write it down, and I typed it out, and I've always kept it, and I've always held on to it, and I don't care where life took me. I always knew in my heart God was calling me to Talitha Cumi. The baby steps became a journey, and we are here today for what is Talitha Cumi Communications, Incorporated, an official nonprofit, incorporated with the state of Pennsylvania. Here you'll see the mission, the vision, the goals of Talitha Cumi, but I just want to express two things. The vision is much of what happened in that scripture with that young girl. So if you go back to that story, she was at a point of death. Jesus stepped in, and then she arose. But then, you know what Jesus did afterwards? He turned to her parents, and he said, now give her something to eat. And so the vision is not just to inspire women to arise, but to equip them and now give them something to sustain them once they've risen. And so you'll see that the vision is twofold, to offer women hope and then inspire them to arise. There are a lot of things out there offered to women. We all know magazines, television shows, they offer it to us all the time, billboards. But the mission of Talitha Cumi is to offer women hope and inspire them to arise. And arise is twofold. Arise from negative situations, circumstances, challenges, and what's negative for you may not be negative for you, but if it's negative for you, we want you to arise from that. Arise from that. But then also, the second part of arise is arise to those God-inspired dreams. I'm a firm believer that God gives us. Now, I said God-inspired because a lot of us can have a lot of dreams, to be a millionaire, be rich, but there's some God-given dreams that we have. And so Talitha Cumi wants to be a vehicle to really inspire women to arise, to go after those dreams that God has given them. So the idea with Talitha Cumi is that we're going to help you arise. We're going to give you a message of hope. That can't be done without Jesus Christ. That's my experience. And so this is a result of my experience. I can't give you hope without Jesus. And so do that by providing women with Jesus Christ, his message of love and truth. But in the end result is that there will be women that are whole, reflecting God's love to the world and fulfilling those God-inspired dreams. So you may have had whatever your experience is with Talitha Cumi. The idea is that once you've had an encounter with Talitha Cumi, this will be the end result. Whole being defined as entire, unhurt, healthy, and undamaged. And in Luke 8:50, which is another account of that same story, it says, "But Jesus, hearing it, answered him, 'Fear not, only believe, and she shall be made whole.'" The She's Risen feature will feature stories of triumph. And like I said, one woman's story may not be another woman's story. One story may not be as drastic as another, but the theme is a message of hope. A lot of people have stories of triumph, but the running theme in the stories for Talitha Cumi is that Jesus stepped in and made the difference. And then Talitha Cumi also features table talk, which is much like tea time with your girlfriends. That's what I refer to it as, where there are women who sit and really talk about real issues, everything from beauty to abuse, to finances, to self-esteem, to relationships, all from a biblical perspective. Christian women. And so while there may be a woman in California who really may need some counsel, but just hasn't yet stepped into a church, just hasn't yet stepped somewhere to really get that, she may be able to log over to the Cumi website and really be able to see a story of triumph and hear a woman share her experience, hear a woman share that this is how you get through this situation. And so those are the table talk sessions. Talitha Cumi also features articles which are written by everyday women talking about practical living, real life, real issues, and then events. The key thing about Talitha Cumi events is that this is the first one, so I'm very excited. And the following event, the next event, will be the Talitha Cumi official launch. And so the official launch, that's when all of the videos of all of the women that have been interviewed will be featured, will be showcased. The aim is to have a women's home there, a women's shelter, a teen shelter, to have women that might be in a broken place at an event where women are talking about having hope, where women are talking about being inspired. And so there will be a launch. You will be hearing from me again in regards to the Talitha Cumi official launch, where the page will go live and you'll be able to see everything. And then an Arise retreat. The idea of Talitha Cumi is women stepping up to fulfill those God-inspired dreams. And so the Arise retreat is designed to pull women into a place where they cut off the rest of the world, they're still in their quiet, they, one, listen to God, two, connect with other women and really get encouraged regarding that God-inspired dream. So having some one-on-one time with God to say, Lord, what is it you're calling me to do? And then have some group time where they can be encouraged by another woman, another sister, to really develop a plan, to leave from that retreat with a plan on this is how I'm going to move forward. Even if that plan is her next 3 steps, this is how I'm going to move forward. Because there's so many dreams, so many visions that God puts in women so the world can see his touch, so the world can see his love. And so the Arise retreat is designed to bring women together for that purpose, so they can leave with a network of accountability, a network of sisters to support them and encourage them. Other events, girls outreach programs. Holly there in the corner, she and I are actually working on some programming for girls now to roll out for girls of the high school age. And so building character in young girls is a part of Talitha Cumi. And then the Arise Awards, really recognizing the efforts of those that have done something to impact the lives of women, the efforts of those organizations, those businesses that have done something to help women to arise. I want to tell you how you can get connected to Talitha Cumi. The thing about today, and I've been saying it to a few people, is that Talitha Cumi for a long time was just right here. Just here. And so I'm rocked, because today is the day that it gets out there. And I'm really excited about that. And so I want people to know how they can help. One is prayer, because that's how this thing began. I told you I started on my knees and God spoke. So please pray for Talitha Cumi. Pray for the Lord to really use it. So continue to pray. Financial support, of course, it's a nonprofit, so financial support helps, and I'm going to cover that more. Your time and your talent. The Lord may be ministering to you something right now in some way, some gift you have to be able to share with Talitha Cumi. So I mentioned a launch event. I don't know, maybe you coordinate events. I don't know, but really seek God, your time and your talent as well. And then spreading the word. And so spreading the word is very important, because you could be out in your travels, interacting with a woman, interacting with a girl who may have a story that you saw on Talitha Cumi's website, or may not have that story, but you're like, just go here. And she may get more encouragement from simply going and seeing someone with an identical story than what you might be able to share with her in that moment. So please be sure to spread the word. Now, financial support. I want to talk about that. And I want to first say, that when it comes to financial support for Talitha Cumi, it is not intended in this season of life to cover my salary. I have employment, and I'm not looking to, this is not my get-rich scheme. And so I say that because, not that I feel like I need to convince this audience, and that's why I wanted the preview event to be an audience of those who I know, who know me, who believe I walk with integrity, and they don't think I'm getting them here for some big rich scheme. So I want to put that one out there. Financial support does cover filming, editing. You see there's a camera crew here today, filming the She's Risen features, editing those stories. It also covers web design, maintenance, business services. Talitha Cumi is incorporated, but I didn't figure out how to do it in my bathroom. Like, I had to go and find people who had those skills. And so covering those services to make sure that things are up to par, covering some of the outreach programs and the events that I mentioned, that's what financial support covers, because it really will take money to do ministry and even make this happen. And so I'm praying and I'm saying, okay, I just believe you're going to send me to people. I'm out with some friends one night for my birthday, and a poet gets up on the mic. And I'm into poetry, so I'm like, okay, well, let me listen up. And the poet gets up and she shares this poem, and it was some line she said. I think she was about 4 lines in, and I said, oh, she got a story. And so then I'm listening, and I'm going on, and she's going on, and then she said in her poem the word arise. And I turned to my friend Renata at the same time, simultaneously, we both said, Talitha Cumi. And so I said to them, I said to Shanesha, do not let her get out of here without me touching her. And so she actually walked past us, and I exchanged information. I was like, I'm working on this, da, 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 da. And all it is at that point is something hanging in my bathroom on the mirror. And so we exchanged information, and I'm like, I really don't know this woman's story. I just believe she has one. And she was very open. She was like, yes. And I went to her house, and I sat down. I think I spent 4 hours at her house. That day we became very good friends, and that's actually Jennifer. She was my first feature that I found. And so I tell that story because I didn't know Jennifer, or never seen her at all in life before that night. And so the Lord was just directing me to people. And then after that, I was talking to people, and Jennifer directed me to people. Then after Jennifer directed me to people, then I was sitting down and I was talking to some people from my church, and Jackie there was like, you know what? I think I have a story to share. And so my point is that there are so many women with so many stories. And so on the site, you'll be able to go and submit and nominate somebody. You can click submit a story, or someone can go ahead and nominate themselves to have their story featured. Thank you so much for watching the Talitha Cumi preview video. You've just heard the heart behind Talitha Cumi and all that it has to offer. I invite you to visit our website and like us on Facebook, and join the movement that's inspiring women to arise.